Right, good afternoon everybody. It's Rachel here from Lion Learners North Lincolnshire, and I have got the Giant African Millipedes out to show you today. Here we have Alice the millipede, and here is Alice the millipede. Both millipedes called Alice because they're very difficult to tell apart, as you can see. So these are Giant African Millipedes, often referred to as train millipedes because of the way they move along. They look a little bit like a train moving along, don't they? Their legs just move in waves. So they end up looking like they're just gliding along. They're quite relaxing just to watch, actually, the way they move around. Now these millipedes would be native to the African rainforests, and they would live on the forest floor and spend a lot of time underneath the ground, just like millipedes in this country. If you dig in your garden, you might find millipedes here, and if you dig in the rainforest, you might find millipedes under the ground there. So obviously they're safe under the ground, safe from predators, and they can come out usually at night, come up onto the forest floor to search for bits of food. Now these millipedes will eat bits of fruit. We feed them on bits of fruit and anything that's on the rainforest floor, really. They are detritivores, so they eat the detritus from the rainforest. They eat the rubbish. So any old bits of wood, bits of bark, bits of leaves from the trees, all the decaying matter that ends up on the ground is what they would feast on. She's disappearing under her log, isn't she? She's a bit camera shy. Let's see if we can have a closer look at one of them. Sorry, we'll just have a little look at you and then you can go back to bed. There we are. So the Giant African Millipede is one of the biggest species of millipedes in the world. They can grow quite a lot longer than this. And as you can see, they've got lines on their body. You can see those lines are their different body segments. And on every body segment, a millipede has got 4 legs, 2 pairs of legs on every body segment. As the millipede grows, it grows more body segments with more legs. So they do keep growing more legs as they grow bigger, which is very unusual for an animal. They have to shed their skin when they grow because their skin is very hard. It's an exoskeleton because this is a mini beast, an invertebrate. There are no bones inside her body. So she's got a hard skin instead, her exoskeleton. Her protection is on the outside of her body rather than the inside. So when she grows, she has to shed her skin. They'll bury themselves down under the ground and shed that old skin off. It looks a bit like a peeled away dead millipede. But they've got nice, bright, shiny new skin underneath. And they've grown a new body segment and more legs. So this millipede's got more than 200 legs. Hopefully she'll grow even bigger. There we go. Let you down there, Alice. So we've got 2 Giant African Millipedes here. 2 girls. And we know they're girls because you can tell by the legs. If a millipede is a male, it will have a pair of legs missing quite close to the front of its body. I think it's about the 7th segment missing, and it has a tiny pair of hooks instead. She's going for a bit of a wander. So because it's important for these millipedes to eat old bits of rotting, decomposing matter from the trees and the plants in the rainforest, we do give them bits of old wood. Can you see them with their bedding? So they can munch their way through that, as well as the fruit we give them. They love strawberries and grapes and tomatoes. Now here we've got a different millipede. This is a Burmese Beauty Millipede. She's got quite pinky colours. It's difficult to see them on here. Her name is also Alice. All our millipedes are called Alice. There we are. She is uncurling for us. These millipedes are often buried down under the soil all day, and if I go into their tank at night, they'll be up and about on the top. The Burmese beauties do seem particularly nocturnal. There we are. You can see her antennae just. Millipedes have got that pair of antennae at the front for feeling and smelling. And she's really on the move. So the Burmese beauty is much smaller than the Giant African. They've both hidden, haven't they? We can't see. There we are. They are much smaller. This one is about fully grown now, this Burmese beauty. She won't get much bigger. There are many, many different types of millipede all over the world. Oops. And some of them grow bigger than others. Now we have millipedes living in our country. Prop you up there so you can have a look at Alice. I've been digging in my garden this morning and I have found a millipede in my garden. So this, of course, is a millipede that is native to the UK. There we are. She's having a good chug along there. This one here. Now, we've also got in this tub a centipede that we've just quickly borrowed from the garden too. This centipede is a yellow western centipede, and they're the longest kind of centipede that we have here in the UK. We've got quite a few different species of millipede and centipede in our gardens, but as you can see, none of them grow as big as these ones. There's quite a difference, isn't there, in those two millipedes? Their bodies are very, very similar, but the size is very different. So centipedes and millipedes are in many ways quite similar body shape. I don't know if you can see the centipede well there. Yeah, it's one of those long, thin western yellow centipedes. So they're the longest kind of centipede we have in this country. And centipedes are different to millipedes. They've got, their bodies are a little bit different because on every body segment a centipede has got 2 legs, whereas the millipede has 4. Although centipedes can move faster. The kind of centipede we most commonly see in this country is the brown centipede. Its legs are much longer, body much shorter than this one. But they would always win a race with a millipede. Although they've got less legs, they can move quicker. Centipedes also, they are carnivores, so they can give quite a nasty bite. They do have a certain amount of venom. Some centipedes are more venomous than others. None of ours are particularly scary, but in some other countries there are centipedes that could do quite a lot of damage to a human being. There we go. So I'm going to pop those back out in my garden in a minute, put them back exactly where I found them. It was good fun hunting for them. Found lots of other things too, some beetle larvae, loads of slugs and snails, some woodlice, some earwigs. Ladybirds are coming out now. It's a good time to have a mini beast hunt in your garden. If that's something you've not already done while you've been at home, we would love to hear from you what you've found in your garden. There in the background we can see one of the Giant African Millipedes chugging along. This is just the lid of their tank. They move in such a beautiful way. So there we go. We've got our native millipede and centipede and some African millipedes. They're fascinating creatures. The way they move around is fantastic. And if you've never held one, if and when you get the chance, they feel quite strange walking on your hand. Got a very tickly feeling, a sticky, tickly feeling. Nothing bad about them though, nothing dangerous about them at all. One of them's chugging away across my coffee table now, so I'm going to go and rescue her before she falls. And I think we'll leave it there. We'll be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock with another animal cam for you. Bye for now.